It is 1 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock. Ay, Fernanda de Brasil, ¿cómo está, mi amiga? So good to see you. Okay, so as you all know, FAST, or some of you will know, not everyone, FAST is an international program, and we have now started to work with our 25th country around the world, which will be the Czech Republic. And so whenever we have opportunities like this, we like to invite everyone to come into the conversation as they're able to, depending on where they are in the time zone around the world. We have a strong partnership in Brazil, and we have a strong partnership in Canada that has continued for many, many years. We've had programs in London, and as Taji would tell you, all over the stands in the world that he trained in. And so it's nice to be able to come on and see our partners from around the world. So thank you for joining us and making time. Our board president is also on the call today for FAST, Kathy Couture. So thank you, Kathy, for tuning in as well. So in FAST, we're a family. FAST is a family. You know, we work with families, and it's really exciting to come together and share kind of our experience and really share what FAST really means. You know, FAST has been around for over 32 years now, and it's operated in 25 countries and 48 states in the US. It's a program that has had tremendous, tremendous impact, not only here in the US, but around the world. And we today are gonna highlight one of our partners. Oh, Tamaki, hi Tamaki, another Brazilian trainer. We are going to highlight One City. One City is one of our partners that have been with us now for the last, hi amiga, I saw her hiding behind you, Tamaki. You know, and it's been a partnership that has really grown over time and strengthened. And what I really love about One City, you know, they're an early childhood school focused on our very young children, which for me, the younger that we can help support parents in their role is most important, because that empowerment and support that they feel carries out throughout the education of their children. And so having, you know, our partnership with One City has been completely amazing. And Marilyn is now a trainer herself at One City. So I'm going to give Marilyn just a few minutes to just talk about her role and what she does and a little bit about One City.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. I've been at One City now for 3 years, director or now VP of Family and Community Initiatives. And when I first started 3 years ago, I didn't even know what FAST was. I was like, how do you spell FAST? What is FAST? And I wound up going through the training session. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So we are a 2-generational school. When we enrolled the student, we enrolled the whole family. And when we enrolled the whole family, no one gets left behind at One City Schools. We are now enrolling up to 2nd grade. So we've been adding a grade every year. And we started with FAST in 2016, just prior to me starting at One City. And since then, we have graduated 62 families in that time frame, and at least 45 of them are still here at One City. So we make part of our mission because it is about empowering our families and making sure that we have that partnership with families and schools. And we believe in every child that comes through One City, we want them to go through FAST.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Marilyn. One City is just a magical place. If you're in Madison and ever get a chance to visit One City, please do. Walking through the building and seeing the children, seeing how welcoming people are, even from the front desk of welcoming in families. Everybody knows everybody's name.
Yes.
Families are always smiling and they're happy. And I got to witness that well before I was even president of this program. I went for a visit to One City when I was first interviewing for the position, and it was it was just an amazing experience. You can really tell the dedication from the school personnel to really wanting families to feel comfortable and engaging in the school environment, and helping support very young families in a lot of ways with very young children, kind of feel comfortable and understanding that their role as the parent is the most important role that they have. And that for us too is very important. We believe that, you know, parents ultimately know and want what's best for their children, no matter the circumstances in which they find themselves as families. It's one of our true values of FAST, and it fits very well with the way One City really embraces the families that they work with. So it's a pleasure to have Marilyn here. It's a pleasure to have a family with us from One City. And so I'm gonna transition Marilyn to having conversations with the family and talking about their experience with FAST, because we're gonna change the agenda around a bit just so that the family, as you can see, the kids are so excited and lots of energy, and we wanna be able to have mom actually speak and have the kids speak so that we can all have a chance to hear from them. So Marilyn.
And so I want to introduce you to Rahiba and her two adorable children, Asatu, who's going into 5K, I can't believe, and then Mamadou, who's going into 2nd grade. And they were part of our FAST cycle almost 2 years. It'll be this fall and 2 years ago. And I specifically asked them to join us today because Rahi sent me a beautiful testimony of just about One City and what One City has meant to her throughout this pandemic since, you know, earlier this year for everyone. And I wanted her to just share, as well as how FAST was for her babies being a single mom here at One City. So go ahead, Rahi. Gotta unmute her.
Oh, hi guys, my name is Roni and these are my two beautiful kids here. Here's Mamadou and Aisatu. We were in FAST, about 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And at first when Miss Marilyn told me, I was like, oh, I can do it. I have a busy schedule as a single mom. I'm working full time, going to school. And with the kids, at the time I had my kids just about few months because they were in Africa with my mom. So I was trying to reconnect with them. And it was just a challenging moment for us. But I am so glad I agreed with Miss Mel, and she was like, just give it a try. You can come and see if you don't like it. And, you know, we can do another time. I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. So we came in, and I am so glad I came in because the results that we got from it, it was just great. First of all, yeah, let's put this away. So when we joined, we didn't know what it was about and stuff. But as we kept coming, each section, we got comfortable. And for me, it meant a lot because as a busy single mom, I'm always running. Sometimes my kids tell me, sit down and eat with us and stuff. I'm like, okay, mommy gotta do this and this. So when we sat down in FAST and the playtime, that really meant a lot for me because I don't get that with my kids a lot, being that I'm always running. So that really opened things up, and the kids loved it. So it was just great seeing the interactions and sitting with the moms and explaining what's going on with me and my kids and getting advice from them. That was so great. And I saw that it wasn't only me, what I was feeling, or the parents were feeling that. So if I felt like I belonged in the program, so it was just great. And by the time it was close to being over, we were really with everybody, we were a family, and we just stuck together. The support was just great. The 8 weeks went really fast. And my kids, after it was done, every time the kids, I think we met on Thursday. Every Thursday, the kids will tell me, Mommy, are you going downstairs for FAST? Is it FAST today? Every single time, because they were just so in it and stuff. So it's been great. It's been great. And I'm just so grateful that I actually gave it a chance. And with the pandemic right now, oh my goodness, I am so grateful for One City and for FAST. It's just like, it's a blessing. I'm gonna say that because oh, when COVID hit as a single mom again, it's been stressful for everybody, but for me, it was just like, I almost had a panic attack. I did probably, because I went to school was closed when the governor made the announcement. And I was like, okay, what do I do? I had a backup daycare. I went there, it was closed. I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? So I turned to One City, and I remember the group that was created for FAST families to check in and if there's anything going on and stuff. Thank God I sent a message through that. And a few minutes later, I texted, I was like, I need childcare. Like, I have to go to work. I work at a clinic, cancer clinic that does not close. My boss is telling me, okay, we need you here and stuff. And I'm like, I don't have childcare. Okay, but we need you here. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm afraid to lose my job. I'm nervous about going to work, the kids, you know, because I work at a clinic, or if I bring it in. So the stress was just too much stress. So I texted on the group chat, I said, okay, I need help. I need childcare. I gotta go to work, and you know, if there's anyone that can take my kids, help out and stuff, I would greatly appreciate it. And within few minutes, I got a text message, a parent, which we were in FAST together actually,
Yes.
same time. So they're like, okay, I hear you need childcare. You know, what days? When can we pick up and drop off? We can pick up and drop off. And I'm like, whoa, like really? That was just so, that took a lot of my stress away. It was just like a relief, like, wow, I can go to work and you guys can pick up my kids and take care of them. And one of the things that came out of it too, like, there was no fee. Like, I was thinking, you know, I was like, what do you need from me? Even like packing lunch and breakfast and stuff, I didn't have to do that because One City took care of all the fees. So it was just a great, great positive thing that I got from it. Just being part of FAST led to that. It was just like so amazing, you know. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's just been a great, great experience. So I'm glad I took the opportunity because I don't know where I would been. It would be just crazy. Yeah, and the kids had fun. So yeah, it's been a great summer. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Yes.
Everything that you said, that's exactly what happened on there. And do you all remember the song, Mama Do? Do you remember the FAST song? Let's sing our FAST song. You ready?
Yeah.
We sing families and schools together. Sing it. FAST. Families and schools together. Living in harmony. Sing it. Families and schools together. Spell it. FAST. Families and schools together. Together we'll succeed. And that was just the beauty of it, doing it for 8 weeks, my God. For 8 weeks. And like Rahi said, every time families out on the Thursdays, we always did it on Thursdays. And it's like, are we doing FAST tonight? Are we doing FAST tonight?
Yep. And we had a beautiful back set out of that. Mama said, you want to talk about the basket? The gift we got from FAST?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to come and talk about it? You want to talk about it? What did you get from FAST at the end? Come and tell them. You guys, you are excited.
A fire truck. Woo!
What was in the basket?
I got a fire truck
And
and soda.
and soda. We got soda. Yeah, remember that fruit snack soda? Oh, okay. And a lot of books and other craft, art, and a lot of good stuff, right? And we got this. You got what? This. I don't think this was that. No, this. Hi. This is the one we want.
Hi.
Yeah, this is something else, but yeah. Okay, do you want to tell them anything else you liked about fast? Come on. Come on.
They're busy. No worries. And when Asatu get now we can do it all over again because now Asatu was real young.
Oh yeah.
So we can do it. We can do the whole cycle again, and she could be the special child. She could be the one where we do special play again.
Yeah, and the parents we still connect actually.
That's good.
All the parents, we still chat. Sometimes text messages just to check on the parents.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, Mom.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for everything you guys do. And yeah, we're so grateful for you guys for FAST. It's been great experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
It's always interesting when we have kiddos, you know, kind of in the background and all their energy, but it's also very nice to have the opportunity to listen to a family and the story and the impact that our partners make when we partner with them in the interest of children and families. It's always, every story is different, every story is unique. And to be able to have that impact, you know, here and around the world is just an amazing thing. You know, FAST is that one program that I can honestly say, and I've been doing nonprofit work for 25 years in management roles, small organizations, large health systems. And the one consistent thing that I've been able to see about FAST is it's a program and it's a curriculum. But once it's delivered with children and families, no matter where you are, and I've seen it now in a few different places here in the US and internationally, the impact that it has on supporting families and bringing families together and allowing parents to build relationships with each other so that the isolation that they feel decreases. And they make friends and they really make long-lasting bonds that helps build that peer-to-peer support system that so many of our families need, especially single-parent families.
Yes.
Whether that's female single-parent families or fathers, you know, we see that in this program, the impact that it has, the ability to build relationships within families, family to family, families and school personnel, and families and community. And it is a beautiful thing to witness. So if you've not had the opportunity to see what a FAST program can do, we have them operating all over the US. Feel free to find one that's closest to you, connect with someone, and ask them if you can just observe. The best way to learn about what FAST does is by seeing it in action. Like, I can tell you what it does, and you can hear from one mom's story. But imagine one family like the mom we had today and multiply that by 10 or 12 families, and you have 60 to 100 people in a room, depending on the size of the families. And you can just see the connections, you can feel the love, and you can feel the closeness that people feel by participating in this program. And so we're happy to be able to share that with you today. I also want to remind you, if you have questions while we're going through this, please put them into the chat. And then Jackie, when we get to the question and answer, she will ask those questions and moderate those to us. And then Marilyn and I, and Mom, if Mom is still on, will answer any questions that you have if they're specific to her and she's still available. I just want to talk just really a few minutes. You know, COVID-19 and the pandemic really changed the way our program operates and the way we deliver our program. Our program is a very face-to-face, relationship-based program and requires closeness to build closeness. So you can imagine, you know, COVID-19 hit. Most of our community partners are schools or charter schools or childcare centers. And you can imagine everything shut down, not only just here, but around the world. Every single program we have shut down. And we quickly had to kind of pivot what we were doing and shift the way we deliver programs to a more at-home based type program, and try to find ways to use technology for those who actually had technology, try to use technology in a way that we could still reach families. And so I'm going to ask Marilyn to share just a few minutes about her experience about what One City did. And then I'm going to share a little bit about FAST and how it kind of ties together. Marilyn?
Yes, just like everyone else, in the middle of March, it just went poof, like, what are we doing here? What is going on? We had just finished our fall cycle, in the 2019, fall of 2019, and we were preparing for our 10th cycle around April, beginning of April, when COVID hit, of course. And that was going to be our, you know, our 10th cycle. So we, like everyone else, we had to pivot and had to think of ways that we can keep our families engaged. I would say a week after the school shut down, I started Club One City. And Club One City was exactly what you may think of. It was in the evenings at 9 o'clock, just to be able to have our parents to have an outlet. And then we started off with music, think of yourself as club, but it warped into something more personal where we really got to laugh and really got to know each other. We utilized the game, Never Have I Ever. If you know that game in a sense from Ellen DeGeneres program, you start really getting to know each other. Like, never have I ever been to the movies by myself, or never have I ever stole something. Something will trigger from a childhood experience, and next thing you know, everyone's just laughing, and you get to know more again about each other. And so we would start from 9 o'clock in the evening, and parents were like, oh, it's late, oh my God, I'm so tired. But no, we went from originally being from 9 to 10 o'clock just to keep awake, to 10:30 to, look, we need to shut this club down. And so it was a good Friday night. It was Friday night. So I wound up hosting that for 10 straight weeks. And we had families, parents and staff members, and even they got to know each other even more when you let your hair down, Club One City. So I missed that as the state started, you know, lifting up restrictions. We kind of stopped that, where people were able to get out more. And then we started, like others, on social media, when we have our own private Facebook page with One City. And then the parents were feeling comfortable in posting their children. And we as staff was just so excited to see, you know, like Mama Do and Asa too, and you see the pictures of mom, because it's, you know, in a Facebook private group. And everyone was missing each other, of course, you know, with that. And just seeing the pictures was just, you know, just wonderful there. And then with our social worker, Letitia, we're starting Parents Are Heroes, which is a great opportunity for parents specifically who need someone to talk to, like we do when we do a FAST session where you do 15 minutes and you talk, and everyone has at least a parent or have someone that they can talk to, listen to, validate, encourage, because we all need that because of all the mountain stress and with young children. And research shows that, you know, child abuse cases start going up. You don't have no one to talk to. So implementing that and realizing that it's our parents who are the ultimate heroes throughout this pandemic and more, and putting more emphasis on that was another program that we started to keep our parents, families engaged.
Wonderful, Marilyn. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
So what FAST really did is took the key components of our FAST program, the meal time, the one-on-one time, the special play, and we kind of created a little kind of worksheet almost with information on each of those components for families, and then tried to give some context around that on how families could do that activity at home without having to do the full FAST program. And the intent always is for FAST, as much as it's evidence-based and we have all that research and it's wonderful, you know, tried and tried and tried again, this program is successful in helping engage and empower families. The most important part during the pandemic was families maintaining healthy connections and healthy relationships, given all of the stress that all families were under. Not having that connection to school meant that a lot of families didn't have food or resources because they depend on kids being at school during the day. Other families were struggling, you know, one parent lost their job, or if it's a single mom, you know, she might have had 2 or 3 jobs and lost one of those jobs, trying to make ends meet and still trying to be there for her family or his family. And so it really became important for us to take what we know works with FAST in the school setting, in the community setting, and providing opportunities for families to be able to do that at home. And so we created that, and families started to use that. And I see Dawn is on the call from Milwaukee, and nice to see you. One of our wonderful trainers there, and one of our coordinators there. Her and I had a conversation a few weeks ago about all the amazing things that Milwaukee was able to do, in particular around FAST at home. And I loved seeing all the pictures from the different schools. We're in 5 different schools in Milwaukee. It's a program that's supported through Department of Children and Families in the state of Wisconsin. And it was so amazing to see the pictures and the faces. You know, they did virtual ice cream socials, and they had dropped off little ice cream kits to all the families. And then you saw these pictures of all these families, you know, having ice cream together. There was a bingo game that one of the coordinators did for her school, and then gave out prizes that she would drop off at home. But the consistent message that I heard, whether that was happening in Milwaukee or Madison or any of our other programs, San Antonio, Miami, all of them that were doing FAST at home, and Nebraska, and I know we have a new trainer on the line from Nebraska, and I got to see her graduation last week. All that the consistent message was that families most valued the connection to another adult that would call and just check in on them. Just if that was a call, or if that was a quick visit at home outside, of course, with social distancing and everything, but just the connection to another adult human was so much more important in this very crazy pandemic time. And FAST has a niche in building that relationship. And so being able to use our teams that are created, that run the FAST program, to be able to use them in a way where they were really connecting with families. And I heard time and time again from a lot of different schools and a lot of different school districts that they really thought they knew what parent engagement was. But when the pandemic hit, and they realized thought they were doing all these things and really weren't doing true parent engagement, that was the beauty of what came out of this pandemic. And you could see teams get immediately like zoned in and really focused on really wanting to provide the best connections they could to families during this crazy time. And there's so many examples of our programs internationally and locally who were able to find ways to connect with families that make sense. And we will continue to develop our FAST at home. Now we are kind of what I call phase 2, you know, really focusing now on grade level. You know, we did a multi-family approach because everybody was at home together. But what we're seeing across the country is that as schools are opening, certain grades are going back, some aren't. And so we redid the FAST at home to really make it more of a rich experience, but also create the elementary level, the middle school level, and the high school level. If you do our FAST program, you know that there's different levels and there's different activities associated with each level, depending on the child, the special child that you're with in that program, and the needs and the development of those children. And so we are going to be having those exact ready now for families and for school districts who want to do FAST at home, who are still going to be virtual. And then our next hope is that, you know, as we continue to build awareness about FAST, that we will continue to find ways to attract more funding, to do more things in a virtual sense, and creating a virtual resource center, which all of these things that I'm talking about would be under that resource center through our website, and people can go in, depending on if they're a partner with us or not, download those activities, download those manuals so that you can use them with your family. So we wanted to share that today with you, and, you know, just give you some background on kind of how FAST responded, using one city as an example in terms of how they responded, but just continue to encourage you to for your own self-care. I mean, I'm a mom, and I had my own struggles with a school-age child at home who's autistic and special needs and had an IEP and didn't know exactly how to manage that at home. And so, you know, as a mom, but I'm also in this amazing role of leading this program in all these other schools and districts. And, you know, it was really an interesting feeling, even for me as a mom, and even for me as a professional, you know, who has a degree in education. And then I'm here educating my child, but I'm also trying to work and balancing, you know, the many roles that parents play, whether they're male or female, you know, and we're going to continue to have to do that given where we're seeing that this pandemic is going. But we at FAST just want you to all know that we're going to continue to do everything we're doing to help support you in your roles and help continue to support you so that you can be there for your families. And that includes me reminding you about taking care of yourself, because we all need to take care of ourselves in this crazy time so that we can continue to feed other people with what they need from us. And so, you know, we have a trainer, Chris Daniels, many of you know, his favorite thing is to say that the FAST program is the love train. The song too, he will play it because that's what he does. He ain't on the call, I don't think. He might yell at me later. But he always talks about FAST being the love train. And I think that that is the most amazing way to talk about what we do and the impact that we have, because the train just gets longer with the more families that graduate, the more partners that we have, and we just continue to push and move the program forward. Now is the time where we're gonna have some questions. So Jackie, I know, is standing by, and we are going to start answering some of the questions. If you have questions, please drop them in the group chat, and Jackie will field those to Marilyn and I.
Yes, thank you so much, Toni. While we're waiting for questions to kind of populate the chat here, I thought I would start off. Marilyn, thank you so much for sharing about what you did for your program, but I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about your Parents as Heroes initiative and what the significance of that was. Like, what does Parents as Heroes mean, and how did that impact what you did during the pandemic to stay connected with families?
Yes, so a new program, and as was mentioned earlier, it was out of the pandemic and making sure that everyone had an opportunity to have an adult interaction for at least 15 minutes a day. So like the buddy system, and we're going to take that even forward in our school year, that we want our families to have a buddy now, so they can talk to each other, be a resource to each other, specifically for our new families, and to welcome them to One City. And we also just want to make sure that if they did not have someone that could listen to them, and I always go back to FAST again, the time frame when there was a buddy for the parents to talk to each other was like a big concept to say, hey, you're going to sit here, you're going to listen to me for 7.5 minutes, and then we're going to switch off, and then the other person gets to talk for 7.5 minutes. And what a revelation that could be, that someone's really listening to me without interrupting me. Rahi, as a parent, you saw this as a single mom. If you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to jump on her because she's right there and experiencing that. And that's where this Parents Are Heroes as well. So Rahi, can you just mention a little bit more? How was that buddy time for you?
The buddy time was great. And again, like having to talk like for 7 minutes and having somebody listen to you, and once you finish give some input or give you advice. It was a great experience. Just for me, probably I spoke probably over that because I had so much going on and stuff, and I needed so much advice. So for me, it was just great just to have that. Again, it's just me and my kids. I have a brother, but he has his own life. He has his own kids to deal with. So we're kind of in a bubble here. So having the opportunity to talk to somebody and just knowing that that's, you know, it's a place, it's a safe place to talk,
right,
ask questions, tell them what's going on and stuff, and knowing that and getting their answer that they are going through similar things at home too with their kids. So it was just great to have that bond with them and knowing that it's okay, whatever I'm going through, it's okay because they're going through the same thing too and stuff. So it was just great. I love it, the buddy. At first I was shy, you know,
of course,
and stuff, but after that, again, as we got close to the 6 weeks, we were like, can we have another like 8 weeks? Can we just keep going on and stuff? So.
And with the Parents Are Heroes, that's what we were trying to do as well. Because initially their parents like, oh, I don't know if I want to talk to someone, but you don't realize, especially during this pandemic, what that means to have that person that you can rely on and talk to.
Absolutely. Jackie, is there another question?
So our next question is, so many parents are struggling with educating their children virtually. How can FAST be a vehicle for schools to use to provide support and guidance for these parents?
I mean, I think there's many opportunities that FAST can engage schools. You know, we are known for helping school personnel, administrators, and community leaders for building those relationships to connect parents. I think training school personnel, one of the programs that we're not talking about today that we have is the FAST Institute for Parent Engagement, where we actually have curriculum that we deliver to school personnel or community center personnel on how to provide the skills of building those relationships with parents. As a lot of times we often hear that parents are hard to engage, or they're too busy, or they don't come to conference, and they don't do this and they don't do that. You know, sometimes a lot of that is a need to shift attitudes and a paradigm within the school itself. And so FAST is a vehicle to be able to do that in a very non-threatening way based on our values and what we've learned over the 30 years we've been running the traditional FAST program. So I would encourage you to check that out. But FAST is an intermediary. We're really not like the direct service provider. We believe in a train the trainer approach. So we will go in and work with teams, and we will go in and we will work with school personnel to kind of even the playing field so that parents feel comfortable coming into that environment, feeling in a safe, connected way to being able to be involved in the school, but also in the education. And a lot of times, you know, you look at it as just a FAST program for 8 weeks, but the beauty of FAST is what happens after the experience of FAST, you know, and what continues, whether they're involved in FAST Works for another 2 years post-program, which then is run by families, and they get a budget and they get to create them for themselves, what experience they want to provide for the graduates of FAST so that they stay connected. You know, so FAST is a multifaceted program in a lot of ways that can really help build connections. Again, that family to family, family to school, family to community. And that is the beauty of what FAST does.
Thank you, Toni. So our next question is wondering about funding and asks, how can a school secure funding within a larger district? Do you counsel individual schools on their own funding measures?
We actually get that question a lot, and Molly McGowan, who's our director of programs, actually does that almost on a customized basis, depending on the school district, the community in which it operates, and who operates the school district. You know, around the country, you might have a county that operates, it might be the city that operates, it might be the state Department of Education. So it really just depends, and so we spend a lot of time with programs who are interested. I would encourage you to just give us a call and just let us walk through that process with you. You know, some larger school districts use Title I dollars. Some districts work with local foundations. Our program in Milwaukee, for example, is a state-funded project through the Department of Children and Family using TANF dollars, which are kind of welfare, more or less the way you would say welfare dollars, in order to support disadvantaged families and engage them in schools. And so it really just depends on what's available in your city or county and your state. And we would need to dig into those details, but we're absolutely willing to do that to make that happen for you. Any other questions, Jackie? We have about 3 minutes.
Yep, so we have a couple people who are wondering about where they can get information for the FAST Institute, and you can always go to familiesinschools.org to find out more information. Otherwise, we will be following up with an email after this, and we can include some contact information for people who you can contact to get more information about that as well. And I guess if we have a couple more minutes, another question is about, I'm assuming about the FAST at Home program. Is the FAST at Home program targeting grade levels this year or throughout the pandemic? What we offering, is that being offered on a grade level basis?
Yeah, so we created the FAST at Home kind of part 2, as I would say, with it divided by grade level, but it really will depend on the partner in the program and their funding. Some individual funders are okay with it being a multi-family approach, and so not singling out one child to do one activity or the other is okay with us, but it really is around the funders' needs and what people need to report back to their funders. And so we created it in part 2 so that it can be separated if that's what the funding requires or that's what the school or partner wants. And so we wanted to be responding to the needs that we were hearing from the different providers that we work with and the different schools we work with. And so that is an individual conversation to have with either Molly or Cindy if you're working with them, or your trainer if you're working with a trainer, on what your funding provides if you're already a partner. If you're not a partner, feel free to give us a call as well. We're happy to walk through what options are available for you and what would make sense. And so we're willing to do that. We have 2 minutes now, so I'm going to kind of wrap up. Don't worry if your question did not get answered. We always go back. This is why we record. We go back and make sure we didn't skip any questions, and we answer every question, which will come back to you in a follow-up email from us. Also in that follow-up email will be the recording itself, so you'll get a link. So if you want to go back and listen to what we said, or if there was a part that you wanted to listen to over, we want to make sure that that's available to you. It'll also be available through our social media and our website, so you can go back and look at it there as well. A lot of what we're doing, again, is about building awareness and what we do in FAST so that people can start to learn more about us and who we are. Also in that email, you will have the opportunity to sign up for a conversation with me one-on-one to talk about FAST and where we're going in the future. We certainly want to be a really good partner and listen, but we also want to build opportunities to help us raise dollars so that we can continue to do the great work that FAST does. So if you liked what you heard today, and you get an invite for another conversation, we hope that you'll come back and have that conversation with us, or invite someone else to have the conversation with us. Again, thank you all for your time. It has been a pleasure. Thank you, Mom and the little babies, for coming. I appreciate it so much. Marilyn, is always an absolute pleasure to have you with me again. Love seeing you all, and all of my partners here in the US and internationally. I see you, Christiane. I see you, Tamaki. I see you, Fernanda. I see you, Taji. All those international partners that are with us today. It's amazing to have you, and all of our US and local partners as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And as promised, it's 1:45 and we're ending the call. Bye, everybody.
Bye.